Hey, what's up, guys? It's Richie from Boston, and for some reason it just went dark in here, which freaks me out. I have no clue why. And it's back. Oh, and so is the little square on my face, so that's perfect. At any rate, 7+ years ago, this video ran. Season 24, Episode 9. I know you've already seen it, but I'm going to show it again for posterity or whatever.
What's WROL? It means without the rule of law. Anarchy. The end of civilization. Coming soon to an America near you.
America can't collapse. We're as powerful as ancient Rome.
Homer, meet the Springfield preppers. What would you do in the case of an EMP? Electromagnetic pulse.
Okay, so you get the gist of it. Episode 24, Season 24, Episode 9, or 924. And a lot of people have been putting that together and saying that that's going to be the day. That's going to be the day when something happens. And I've shown you this, and me and Mike Decker talked about this before, and people thought we were just making up a ghost story, which I couldn't understand why we would, but we were both there and we both saw it. And I actually got a picture of this. It's not the greatest picture in the world because both of us were what is called dumbfounded. We were sitting there, and after the fact, I grabbed my camera and I got this picture. It was a perfect E, a perfect M, and a perfect P. By the time I pointed the camera up, the M and the P started blowing away. That's my truck. That's what it looked like when I took the picture. You can see the E, perfect E, the M, and the P. They're all floating away. It is what it is. But I found that really odd. And we told you guys about it, and a lot of people were doubting us. Well, here, I don't know why this keeps happening, but it's annoying at any rate. So then I run into somebody right after we see this EMP in the clouds, which is really strange. All right, I don't know why this keeps happening. This is really pissing me off, but whatever. Yeah, you put a square on my face. I get a business card from somebody that says he can help me re-gear my truck, and that's the name of his company. Just strangely enough. And then I take a video, and I'm taking a video of the clouds. See if I can find it. I'm literally taking pictures of a rainbow coming out of the clouds in Moab, Utah, or out on the outskirts of Utah. And do you happen to notice that just sitting right there? It's strange. It's really strange, but it gets me thinking. How come every time I turn around, I keep seeing EMP, including EMP in the sky, followed by what sounded like a UFO or whatever. And me and Mike talked about it, and a lot of people doubted it because we didn't have footage. Well, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why would we make that up? What gain is there? But whatever. Well, the 24th season, the 9th episode, 924. For years, they've told us their plans in the Simpson television show. Because if you see something that makes sense to you and you try to warn others, they go, really? Really? You saw that on a cartoon? It's perfect, but they do it all the time. But here's the other thing. There's a lot of things happening right this exact second that are highly disconcerting, like this. Remember the videos I did on Marina Abramovic and her spirit cooking where she was using blood from a woman menstruating, human fecal matter, which she's using to paint this right now, and then giving exact instructions on how to animate a golem like this one right here, where she covers this golem with all sorts of poop and pee and blood and morning urine, etc., etc. The entire world, Hollywood, movie stars, basketball players, rappers, etc., consider Marina Abramovic an artist. Well, she's definitely doing some art because starting on the 24th of September, going all the way through March of 2023, she's going to be doing an exercise where they're opening a portal. Straight up, 100% telling you they're going to try to open a portal starting on the 24th. Well, that's just art, Richie. That's just a coincidence. Yeah, maybe. But I'll tell you what, I don't know how many people sent me links to this, and I completely ignored it, and I'm glad I did. This German opposition leader is calling out, and he's saying that things won't be the same after the 24th of September. Well, it turns out what he's talking about is actually sending tanks and etc. to the Ukraine. So this right here wasn't exactly what everybody thought it was, and a lot of people ran with this. I didn't. I just kind of ignored it. But here's some things you can't really ignore. Right before what could be considered another dark winter, Walmart and other major retailers are canceling billions of dollars in orders as summer comes to an end. Why would they do that? Because it is extremely odd that Walmart would decide to do such a thing. It's strange. Every store that I've been in, prices are absolutely going through the roof. I get that. That's straight up. That's right out there. You can't miss that. But now they're canceling orders, and I looked this up. This is absolutely accurate. This is happening. It's not just Walmart. It's Target and other stores that everybody goes to. You take that and you couple it with this, they're absolutely crushing the value of gold. In a real world, gold would be at like $5,600 right now or something to that effect. And instead, they're crushing it. And why are they crushing it? They're crushing it because as much as they tell you, and the Federal Reserve has brainwashed people into believing that gold isn't worth anything. Gold is in the Bible. Gold is in the Quran. Gold is in the Torah. Gold has been around for time immemorial. Gold matters. I don't know why. It's a rock, but whatever. I don't know why it's a rock, but whatever. It's in all the holy books. It goes back to the beginning of writing. These guys, through their experience, the Bush family, etc., in World War II, gold can be hidden. They want people to panic and just start giving it up because the economy's crashing or whatever. Sell my gold before it's worthless. They want every scrap that they can get. That's one thing that lets you know something bad's coming. Here's more. This woman, without a doubt, is the high priestess of evil. And the fact that this starts on the 24th gives me a major pause. It's concerning. I wasn't paying attention, but now I am. If they were to knock down the power, I don't know. I don't know how most people would survive whatsoever at all because everything is tied to technology so bad. Things that you need. Everything is tied to technology. They could shut it down in 2 days. 3 days is how long food is on the supermarket shelves. 2 days or a day or less, people would panic. All absolute hell would break loose in the United States. And when I saw this happening, this made me sad. Puerto Rico gets hit with a flood and loses the power. Now, why is that important? Because Mike and I were watching this. We watched this flood that happened. We watched them conjure up this storm live right here. According to them, Doppler radar is that's to give you the most precise weather analysis possible. Well, for over 9 days, they've only been checking the weather apparently on one side of the country and specifically over here. Because all the crops are coming up right now over here, so they're flooding it, they're drying it out, or they're doing whatever. But knocking out the power in Puerto Rico is on the same type of grid that we are. So this allowed them to do a small test of our power grid in Puerto Rico without Americans knowing what's going on. Puerto Rico's little. You see what I'm saying? Like this little thing of Organite. Puerto Rico's little, and they're on the same power. They're on 120. The rest of the world is on a whole different type of electrical grid system. It appears that they're testing. So there's that. This video stopped recording while I was recording it, so I forgot what I was going to say, but that's the gist of it. Watching these guys juicing one half of the country. They're either stopping these storms or they're redirecting them where they want to. And if you watch up here once in a while, you'll see a great big ring. See it? Right there. And the other day, this military base up here shot a beam straight through Wyoming where Mike never saw. Mike watches this thing constantly. They shot a beam through here, and everybody I ran into that day was tired and angry, including myself. They can do that with frequencies. They're doing it all over the place, so it's kind of a trip. Now, you may or may not know this, but I haven't talked to my mother in like 20 years. My mother, I don't have any brothers or sisters. It was me, my mother, and my father. My father had a girlfriend since I was a kid. It is what it is. My mother was an angry, evil person, big time. Well, my mother died the other day, and her sister called my stepmother because she didn't know how to get a hold of me and told her that my mother died and she was trying to get a hold of me. So I matter so little to my family because I'm a conspiracy idiot, that told them that if you get the COVID shots, bad things like strokes, heart issues, blood clots, etc., or death were going to happen. Well, somebody I know got them, and all of those things except death happened. But I'm just a conspiracy theorist. How in the world ever would I know those things were going to happen before you got the shot, before the vaccine was available, unless 7,000 doctors came out and said it, including coroners, and you know the drill. Well, nobody tells me. I find out that my mother died. Whether I talk to her or not, it's still my mother. It is what it is. I found out my mother died in the comment section of a Jailbreak Overland video. Which is just, it's my life, I guess. So whatever. I call my father to tell him because whatever their divorce agreement was, he don't have to deal with it anymore because she's gone. And obviously, they already knew. They just didn't bother to tell me because apparently it's none of my business if my mother dies, which it's just sad. It is what it is. What are you going to do? At any rate, here's one thing. I always thought that when my mother died, I wouldn't care. I would be like, good, that's what she gets. My mother beat me with everything you can possibly think of. 2x4 broomstick, horsewhip, anything. And she would do it in front of other people. She'd humiliate the shit out of me, but it is what it is. I thought when she died, I'd be like, good, that's what she deserves. And instead, I found myself worrying that no one's going to be at her funeral. That's the kind of person she was. No one's going to be at her funeral. And the sad thing is I can't even find out where it is. I don't know anything about it. I can't find anything. And it's too late now, and it is what it is. But I actually prayed for her, and I forgave her completely. The way I thought I was going to feel and the way I did feel was totally different. It was just kind of a trip. I don't know how else to explain it. And the fact that the two people that are supposed to be closest to me knew my mother died, and they decided for me that he doesn't need to know. That hurt. That was worse than pretty much anything, but it is what it is. It's par for the course. I'm used to it. Just didn't want to face that, but it is what it is. So it's funny when you make videos like this for years and years and years and years, and then when the thing that you're warning people about, because I'll tell you what, everybody that's been doing this as long as I have, we never thought it was going to happen in our lifetimes. We saw lots of signs. They gave us lots of information to look at and run with, and then they change it so that we were always wrong and wrong and wrong. And it whittles it down and it whittles it down. And then COVID struck. And then somehow, live, we literally predicted it, holding up Bill Gates' paperwork and saying they're going to pull a pandemic. And they do. How do you do that? At any rate, when this did happen, I noticed a lot of channels that got really big as RFB. I had 900,000 subscribers on 4 channels. I had over 500 million views. That's amazing. That's amazing for a dude with no front tooth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know who I am, and that's cool. But I watched a lot of YouTubers all of a sudden realize if I start saying things for real, YouTube will pull me down and the money train stops. I didn't do that. And then when channels that I came up with and channels that I looked to and respected switched up, I started paying attention and I started telling people. And you know what happened? People turned on me. Because I want the truth, but not if it's too tough. Because I like this guy, or I like his wife, or I like the way he does videos, or I like the solar hot dog cookers and such that he makes. Whatever. Let me explain something. Every YouTuber that you watch, have you ever met them? Have they ever showed up at your house and helped you work on something? Put a lift kit in your truck, build a solar greenhouse, bring you free bug out? I mean, I've met every one of my subscribers because that's what I always wanted to do. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to I have a truck. What do you own? A truck. Where do you live? In my truck. What do you do? Drive around in my truck, meet people. Who else does that? Do you know what I'm saying? And for that, everyone else keeps on rolling, and I am just getting erased from the internet, which at this point in the game, it's fine with me. It's all good. But it's really disconcerting to know all the people that I considered our army, the awake ones, can't even see it when the truth channel they're watching ain't telling them the whole truth whatsoever at all. It's pretty sad. At any rate, that's all I got for now, I guess. September 23rd, be ready. Always be ready, because it could be a great big hoax they're pulling on us. Another thing where everyone's going to be wrong, or it could happen. Who knows? But everything that they're doing, Walmart, Target, gold prices, the crops, the food prices, everything going up, doesn't look too good. Puerto Rico getting completely knocked out by a storm. I'll tell you what, I live on an island. When you live on an island, most of the wires and such are underground because you get storms when you live on an island surrounded by the ocean. It's not a surprise. Them knocking that whole thing out, I think that was just a test, and you should be ready for it. Or not. Richie from Boston. I'm out.